Hello students. Today we will be starting the next chapter, that is probability, chapter 15 of NCERT. This is the last chapter of mathematics of class 10. Now the probability, the basic definitions and the theorems or the results you have done in standard 8 and 9, that is the combined syllabus of 8 and 9, the basic definitions you have done. The same will continue in standard 10 also only, but with with little bit improvisation, you can say. That is, the standard of the questions will be a bit higher than that of the class 8 or 9. Now, since the definition you are knowing, and obviously the definition direct never comes in the examination, that is define probability it may come also, but define experiment, define event, define a trial, this type of the definition never comes in the examination. So children, you should understand the definition, because the gist, the concept of the definition comes in the come in the examination, but the main thing is to understand the formula PE equals to NE by NS, that also you have done in standard 9, and with that formula only the whole probability is based. Cards also you have done to some extent in standard 9. So the same syllabus to some extent of standard 9 is in standard 10 also. So let us go through the definitions. Now once you understand the definition, we will be going with the formula and then the sums. So let us start. Probability means the study of chance is called probability. The definition I have written over here, it is the study of chances or likelihood of events happening. Now one statement I am saying, chances are there that it will rain today. Now in this statement, one can say that yes, it will rain today, and the other person can say that no, it will not rain today. So this statement result is giving both the things, will rain or will not rain. So this statement contains probability and is the question of probability. Experiment, an operation which produces some well-defined outcomes, is called an experiment. So whatever we do, if it produces some well-defined result which we can say that yes, this is the result, that is called an experiment. A vague answer if it is coming, that is not an experiment. Now types of experiment, two types: random experiment and deterministic experiment. Random experiment, an experiment in which all possible outcomes are known but the exact outcome is unknown, is called a random experiment. Now an example we can take of a random experiment, for example tossing of a coin. In tossing of a coin, we know the outcomes will be head or tail, but when we toss a coin, we actually don't know what will be the exact outcome. So it is a random experiment. The another example which you can take is throwing of a die. When we throw a die, the possible outcomes are, we are knowing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. But when we are throwing a die, we actually don't know that what possible outcome, what exactly will come when we throw a die. So it is an example of a random experiment. The second experiment, deterministic experiment, an experiment in which we know the possible outcomes, is called a deterministic experiment. For example, throwing of a biased coin. Biased coin means in that coin both side head is there or both side tail is there. So if we are knowing, suppose a biased coin with both sides tail is there. Now if we throw that coin, we are knowing the possible outcomes that it will come as tail only. So that is a deterministic experiment. In standard 10, we will be doing mostly random experiment only. Now let us move to the other basic definitions. Now let us move to the few more definitions. Trial. So an action which results in one or several outcomes is called a trial, or we can say the number of the times we do an experiment, it is called a trial. For example, if a coin is tossed 20 times, then each toss is a trial. For example, we launch a satellite, then each time the satellite, launching of a satellite may be a failure or may be a success. So launching of a satellite is a trial, we can say. Now event, the collection of some outcomes of an experiment, is called an event. For example, getting an even number in a single throw of a die is called an event. Now when we want a even number in a single throw of a die, the events can be 2, 4 and 6. Now elementary event, an event having only one possible outcome of the random experiment is called an elementary event. For example, in tossing of a coin, the possible outcomes are either head or tail. So head and tail are called the elementary events. Now let us move to the definition of actual definition, that is the probability of an event. Now, if capital E is an event associated with a random experiment, then probability of capital E is denoted by PE, and this is only called the probability of the event E, and it is the chance of occurrence of E. So what is the probability of an event E? Probability of an event E is the chance of occurrence of the event E. Now, probability definition or the empirical formula we are coming. Now, probability we can take as experimental approach as well as theoretical approach. Now, experimental approach is the approach of the probability in which the experiment is done and hence a result is calculated. In theoretical approach, we assume that this in a throw of a die this much happened, in a throw of a coin this much happened, to in the throw of two coins this much happened. Means all theoretical approach we do, and whatever sums we are going to do in standard 10, to some extent most of the sums are theoretical approach only. Experimental approach also same formula, that is number of times the event E has occurred divided by number of times the experiment is performed, that is NE by NS. The theoretical approach also number of outcomes favorable to E divided by total number of outcomes equals to NE by NS, where N is the number of the events E favorable to us divided by NS, that is number of events in the sample space. So the formula if we count it is same, but keep in mind there is means the approach, two types of approach are there, experimental approach and theoretical approach. Experimental approach which I was talking about right now, the launching of a satellite to calculate the number of the failures, to get how many times the launching is becoming a failure. So that is an experimental approach, and but it is very costly as well. So means this experimental, to some extent the experimental approach, the experimental approach, if we compare this, the theoretical approach is more preferred compared to the experimental approach. So keep in mind only this formula, that is PE equals to NE by NS. You can write this as also NE by NS small n, which is the number of the events, number of the elements in the set capital E by the number of the elements in the set capital S. Now I am talking about set you will be doing in further classes, but right now we can say that suppose E is equals to the event of getting an even number in a throw of a die which I was talking about, then we can say that E is equals to 2, 4 and 6. This keeping some numbers in a curly bracket is called a set. A set means the elements of that capital E means getting an even number is written in the form of the curly bracket with comma. So E is equals to 2, 4 and 6. Therefore we can say that NE, that is the number of the elements in the set capital E, is 3. So we can write NE is equals to 3. NS obviously will be, S will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Therefore NS will be equals to 6. Therefore PE, that is probability of getting an even number, will be equals to 3 by 6, that is half. So only this formula you keep in mind, that is probability of an event E is the number of the two means outcomes favorable to the event E divided by the total number of outcomes, that is NE by NS. Now let us move to the next definition, that is compound event. Now as the name suggests, compound means more than one. So a collection of two or more elementary events associated with an experiment is called compound event. Now if the random experiment of tossing two coins simultaneously, we define the event of getting exactly one head. Means in the random experiment we have the favorable outcome is event of getting exactly one head, then it is the collection of the elementary events HT or TH. So it is a compound event. In a throw of a die, the probability of getting an even number is a collection of the numbers 2, 4 and 6. So it is a compound event. So I think you understand what is compound event and what is elementary event. Now equally likely outcomes, when each outcome is equally likely to occur, it is called equally likely outcome. Now in a throw of a die, all 6 outcomes, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are equally likely to appear. That is, each has a probability 1 by 6. Coming of 2 is also 1 by 6. Coming of 3 also is 1 by 6. Coming of 6 also is 1 by 6. Similarly, in a means tossing of a coin, the probability of getting head and tail is equally likely outcome, because probability of coming of a head is 1 by 2 and tail also is 1 by 2. So now we understood the equally likely outcomes, and um, in standard 10 we will be dealing with in most of the sums with equally likely outcomes only. Now unequal outcome, if you want to know, I can give you the example as, suppose a bag is there. Now in that bag 3 red and suppose 1 white ball is there. Okay, now the probability of getting one red ball, probability of getting a red ball will be obviously 3 by 4, but the probability of getting a white ball will be 1 by 4. So here it is not equally likely. So I think you understand the equally likely and the not equally likely outcomes. Now let us move to one more definition. So complement of an event. Complement of an event. So let capital E be an event. Then complement of E is denoted as E bar and is also written as not E. ठीक है, that is E bar equals to, we can write not E. So if capital E is the event of happening of an event, E bar is the event of not happening of that event. Now some useful results. RESULTS results. Number 1. First of all, sure event. An event which is sure to happen or sure to occur is sure event. Like getting of a number less than 6 in a throw of a die is a sure event. And if we talk about the probability of a sure event, probability of a sure event is 1. Now impossible event, obviously as the name suggests, an event which will not happen or which is not to happen is an impossible event. An event which is not to occur is impossible event. Probability of an impossible event is 0. For example, if we talk about getting the same example we can give, getting a number 7 in a throw of a die is an impossible event. Okay? Now this impossible event, we can also say that 0 probability, means the probability of an impossible event is 0. So we can also say it is 0 probability. Zero probability. Number 3. PE plus PE bar equals to 1. That is probability of occurrence and probability of not occurrence of the event E is always equals to 1. Number 4. Now from this we can also deduce the result that PE, that is probability of an event E, equals to 1 minus PE bar, and PE bar, that is P not E, equals to 1 minus PE. Okay. Now number 4 we can write that 0 is less than equals to PE, which is less than equals to 1. That is probability of an event always lies between 0 and 1, where 0 and 1 is included. If PE equals to 0, it is called, here we can write, if PE equals to, this I have defined also, PE equals to 0, it is called 0 or null probability. And number B, if PE equals to 1, it is called sure probability. And one more note you can write. Number 5, PE ratio PE bar is called odds in favor of E, and PE bar ratio PE is called odds against E. Okay. Now let us start the sums based on the topic, that is NE is equals to, PE equals to NE by NS. Keep in mind the whole probability is based on this formula only. But I think before doing the sums, let me explain the concept of cards as well. Cards, some of you might be playing, some of you might be knowing the rules as well. But right now, in spite of telling how to play a card, I will be telling only the format of the cards. So, cards. So, total number of cards is equals to 52. This is number 1 point. Number 2, types of cards is 4. The same thing has been taught in standard 9 as well. They are heart, diamond, spade and club. This heart cards, diamond cards, spade cards, club cards. This 4 types of cards are there. Heart shape is like this. The shape you must be knowing here. Shape doesn't matter. Only it will be written over here: heart, diamond, spade and club. Now heart and diamond are red cards, and spade and club are black cards. Okay. Now in each type number of cards equals to 13. So 13 fours are 52. Number 4, in 13 cards, in each 13 cards this distribution I am telling. Card numbered 1 is called ace card. Now 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So over here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards, and over here 9 cards, and this included 10 cards. So card number 1 is called ace card, and these all which are number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10 are called numbered cards, in which numbers are there. Numbered cards. Now 10 cards work over, this explanation over. Now 11, 12, 13, it is not numbered, they are having some pictures, so they are called picture cards. Rest 3 are called picture cards. Picture cards. And in that picture, 3 picture cards, 3 picture cards are king, queen and jack. They are also called face cards. Face cards. So in each 13 this distribution is there. So if we talk about how many face cards are there, so if in 13 slot, number of face cards is 3, so we have the 4 slots, so 3 4s are 12, so 3 into 4, that is 12 face cards are there. That is picture cards, number of picture cards is 12. So this is only the format of the cards. Now in this, let us discuss the properties. So therefore total number of face cards, total number of face cards or picture cards will be equals to 3 into 4 equals to 12. Total number of black king. So spade and club are black cards, and in each one king is there. So total number of black kings is 2. Similarly, total number of red king, over here in place of king we can also write queen or jack, equals to 2. Similarly, total number of red king, queen or jack, we can say it is 2 each. Now over here, if anything is left, face cards, total number of ace cards, because in each card number 1 is there, so total number of ace cards we can write it is 4. And total number of black cards, so total number of black cards is 13 into 2, that is 26. Similarly, total number of red cards will be 26. So to some extent the introduction of probability is over. Now we will be coming to the types of the sums. So in probability, if we talk roughly, 5 types of sums comes. So first is type 1, sums based on coin, obviously a fair coin. Now whenever a coin is tossed, keep in mind either one coin will be tossed, two coins will be tossed, three coins will be tossed. When still 10, maximum 3 coins tossing will come. If 4 comes, then also you can do. Now the number of the probabilities when 1, 2, 3 or 4 or the n number of coins are tossed, always keep in mind is 2 to the power n, where n is the number of coins that you keep in mind. Now over here sometimes it is said that the coin is tossed twice. So in that case n you will be taking 2. The same coin, if it is tossed twice, then n you will be taking 2. Now this much complexity will not come in 10, but keep in mind this 2 to the power n. It will help you in finding the events when the coin is tossed. Now over here number A, when one coin is tossed, then the probabilities will be head or tail. Keep in mind 2 to the power 1 is 2, so 2 probabilities will come. Now 2, when 2 coins are tossed, then the probability will be head, tail, tail, head, head, head and tail, tail. Okay. Now this 2 to the power 2, that is 4 probabilities. Now number C, when 3 coins are tossed, then now over here you should think the number of the probabilities. So 2 to the power 3 is 8. So 8 probabilities will be there when 3 coins are tossed simultaneously. Then E will be, now over here I'll be writing E, means I'll be making you write the probabilities or whatever the outcomes will come in a shorter way. So what you will do is, since the number of the events which will when 3 coins are tossed is 8, so we will do 8 by 2, that is it is equals to 4. So we will be writing head 4 times and tail 4 times. Let me write it more nicely. Number C, when 3 coins are tossed, then E equals to, okay, I'll be writing over here in bracket. Here I am writing 8 by 2, number of probabilities, number of events which will come will be 8. So 8 by 2 is 4. So we will be writing head 4 times and tail 4 times. I think you understand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times. Now 4 divided by 2 is 2. So we will be writing each 2 times. Head, head, tail, tail. Then again head, head. Then tail, tail. Now 2 divided by 2 is 1. So we will be writing each 1 time now. So head, tail, head, tail, head, tail, head and tail. And now our all possibilities when 3 coins are tossed has come. So we will be writing E equals to H, 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 T, H, T, H, H, T, 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 H, H, T, H, T, 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 H and triple T. I think easily we have got. Now when 4 coins are, now we will be finding the events when 4 coins are tossed. In this also we will be following the same rule or the same trick, we can say. So 2 to the power 4 is 16. So 16 events will come. So 16 by 2 is 8. So we will be writing each 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 8. 8 by 2 is 4. So now 4 times each. Now 4 by 2 is 2, each 2 times. Now 2 by 2 is 1, so each 1 time. HT, 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 HT. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So better when 4 coins are tossed, the possibilities or the events which are possible number of events is 16, and the possible events will be this only. So but till 10 only 3 coins tossing questions based on this only may come. Now let us do a sum based on coin. Two coins are tossed simultaneously. Find the probability of getting exactly 2 head and at least 1 head. I am writing the question. 2 coins are tossed simultaneously. Find the probability of getting number 1 exactly 2 heads and exactly 2 heads, and number 2 at least 1 head. At least 1 head. So over here exactly means that much only. Now let us first understand exactly. Exactly means till that number only. Now at least means that number or more than that. That number or more than that. And at most, this also you understand, in some questions this also you asked. So at most means that number or less than that. This much you keep in mind. So suppose in your class a teacher comes and tells that exactly 2 girls can come out. So only 2 girls will come out. The teacher says that at least 2 girls should come out. Then 2 or 3 or 4 or all girls can come out. Now the teacher says at most 2 girls can come out. Then either 2 or 1 or 0, no one will come. So that also is included in the at most case. So let us now discuss the sum which I have written over here. So let us now understand this question. 2 coins are tossed simultaneously. Find the probability of getting exactly 2 heads and at least 1 head. So first let us write the possible outcomes. The possible outcomes when 2 coins are tossed are S equals to HH, HT, TH and TT. Therefore, NS we can write as 4. Number of elements in S is 4. Now number 1. Exactly let E1 equals to event of getting exactly 2 heads. Then even. Exactly 2 heads means only 2 heads. So this is only the case when exactly 2 heads are there. Therefore, n even equals to 1. Therefore, space is not there, so I am doing here, you will be doing down. Therefore, p even equals to probability of getting exactly 2 heads equals to n even by ns equals to 1 by 4. Number 2, let E2 equals to event of getting at least one head. At least one head. So right now I have taught at least means that number or more than that. So we can write E2 equals to HT TH at least one head it is talking about, no? So HH. One or more than that. At least means that much or more than that. Therefore, NE2 equals to 3. Therefore, PE2, that is probability of getting at least one head, will be equals to NE2 by NS equals to 3 by 4. So I think you understand this type of the question. Now let us move to the second type of the question, that is sums based on dice, that is throwing of a die. Die is singular form and dice is plural form. Type 2, based on throwing of a die, singular, or dice, plural. ठीक है. Now in this case 1, if one die is thrown, then possible events are, you must be knowing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Number B, if 2 dice, if 2 dice is thrown, then possible events are. So over here, possible events are, I am writing it over here. Suppose on the first die it is 1, then the other die it can be 1, it can be 2, it can be 3, it can be 4, and it can be 5, or it can be 6. Okay? Or on the first die it is 1, then on the other it may be 1. On the first die it is 2, then in the other die it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. Again on the first die if it is 1, if it is 3, on the other it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. Again on the first die if it is 4, the other can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. Again if it is 5 on first, the other can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Last line, 6, 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6 4 6 5 and 6 6. So if you count over here, it will be 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So 6 rows and 6 over here, so 6 rows and 6 columns. So 6 into 6, that is 36 events are there when 2 dice is thrown. Similarly, you can get the same set of observation for 3 dice, but actually it will never come until standard 10. So I am not discussing that. Now based on this, the question can come. So you have to do the sum. Let us do one example based on this sum based on throwing of a die. I am writing it. Remember the table which I made for throwing of 2 die. So question is, 2 dice are thrown simultaneously. Find the probability of getting a multiple of 2 on one die and a multiple of 3 on one die. Two dice are thrown simultaneously. Find the probability of getting a multiple of 2 on one and a multiple of 3 on the other. Multiple of 2 on one and a multiple of 3 on the other. Now for this solution, children, you will have to make that table, that is the set of the observations which I made. That is, you will be writing that when 2 dice are thrown simultaneously, then S equals to this much. You will be tabulating in your copy. Therefore and S equals to 36. Now let E equals to event of getting a multiple of 2 on one and a multiple of 3 on the other. Then E equals to multiple of 2 on the first and a multiple of 3 on the second. Now I am writing it by remembering. You will be writing by seeing the table. So I am writing over here first 2, 3, then 4, 3, then 6, 3, again 2, 6, 4, 6 and 6, 6, then 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 6, 6, 2 and 6, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 observations came. Getting a multiple of 2 on one and a multiple of 3 on the other. It's not saying multiple of 2 on first and a multiple of 3 on the second. It is saying on any one, if it is a multiple of 2 on the other, it is a multiple of 3. So just by seeing the table, the whole S set, you will be finding all this. Therefore NE is equals to 11. Therefore PE equals to, you can write probability of whatever it is, a probability of getting a multiple of 2 on one and a multiple of 3 on the other. You can write over here, or simply you can write over here NE by NS, because actually we have explained what is E. So PE equals to NE by NS. NE is 11 and NS is 36, and this is the answer. Okay. Keep in mind one thing in the note I forgot to mention. The probability of any event can't be negative, never negative. The probability of any event can't be an improper fraction. Suppose 36 by 11. So this probability is not possible because probability of a number lies between 0 and 1 only. Now if on one die, if it is thrown, so we can write the question. Suppose one die is thrown, what is the probability of getting a number greater than 4? Suppose E1 equals to number greater than 4, greater than 4, then it will be equals to 5 and 6. Therefore NE1 equals to 2 and NS is already 6. You are knowing S equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Therefore PE1 equals to NE1 by NS, that is 2 by 6, that is equals to 1 by 3. Similarly, if the question comes, what is the probability of a number getting what is the probability of getting a number less than or equal to 4? Less than or equals to 4? Less than or equal to 4. Then this will be obviously less than or equal to 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4. Therefore NE2 equals to how much? 4. Therefore PE2 will be equals to 4 by 6, that is 2 by 3. So similar sum may come. Now one famous question is there: when two dice are thrown simultaneously, what is the probability of getting a doublet? That doublet means the same pair, I mean the first number and the second number on the two dice should be same. That is the number on the first and the second die, if it is same, what is the probability of getting that number of events? So when you set a die, means write all the means events of two dice, you must have seen that over there in the corner only this observations comes: 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 5 5 and 6 6. These are the observations which are called doublets. I mean the same observation on both the dice. So this number of observation or number of doublets is 6. So in that case number of doublets is 6 and total number of observation is 36. So therefore PE will be equals to 1 by 6, that is NE by NS, that is equals to 1 by 6. So this doublet question also is a famous question, that also please do practice. Whenever two die question comes, first make the whole of the set of observation, that is S sample space, write all the elements of a sample space and then only do the calculation as it is asked by the question. Now type 3. Type 3, the questions or the sums based on cards. Sums based on cards. So the format of the cards or the concept of the cards I have already taught. So let us do one sum. The king, queen and jack of spades are removed. Question I am writing: king, queen, jack of spade. King, queen, jack of spades are removed. Are removed from a deck of 52 cards. One card is selected. Find the probability of getting a spade. Now one card is selected. Now the question is asking, find the probability of getting a spade. Find the probability of getting a spade. ठीक है? And number 2, find the probability of getting a king. Number 2, find the probability of getting a king. So this is one of the sum which I have taken from the card based sum. Many sums can be framed. you go accordingly. Once you understand the format of the cards, definitely the sums based on cards are the easiest. So in solution part, king, queen and jack of spades are removed. They are actually removed. They are not now counted in the deck of the 52 cards. So we can write over here S equals to, or NS directly, let us write NS, the number of the elements in the sample space of the total number of the cards. NS equals to total number of cards left equals to 52 minus of 3 equals to 49. Now number 1, E1 equals to event of getting a spade. Then NE1, already 3 king, queen, jack of a spade is removed. So NE1 equals to 13 minus 3, that is 10. Therefore PE1, that is probability of getting a spade, will be equals to NE1 by NS equals to, how much it was? NE1 is 10 and NS is 49. Number 2, a king. So E2 equals to event of getting a king. Please do specify the event's nature. So NE2. Now one king is removed and total number of kings in a deck of 52 cards is 4. Over here 49 cards, but in the card removed also, in the removed card, in the 3 cards where it is removed, 1 king is going. So total number of kings left is 3. Means 4 minus 1 equals to 3, you can write 4 minus 1 equals to 3. Therefore PE2 equals to NE2 by NS equals to 3 by 49. Now this is the answer. So similar many sums can be framed. So you go, you solve, you find many more sums, you solve, and if any doubt is there, definitely ask. But I think the sums based on cards, definitely you will be able to do. Now let us go to the fourth type of the sum. The fourth type of the sum is problems based on selection of an object from a bag. Type 4. Problems based on selection of objects from a bag. So for this directly I am writing a question. 3 bags containing 10 orange, 10 green and 10 red balls. 3 bags containing 10 orange, 10 green and 10 red. Red is there. 10 orange and 10 green. 10 green are mixed together in a large bag. Are mixed together in a large bag. Are mixed together in a large bag. If one of the balls is taken out at random without looking into the bag, then what is the probability that it is orange or it is not orange? Large bag, and one ball is taken out at random. What is the probability that the ball drawn is orange and number 2 not orange. So this solution is easy. S equals to, so directly we can write NS is equals to total number of, what is this, total number of balls. Total number of balls. So NS is equals to total number of balls equals to 10 plus 10 plus 10 equals to 30, and E1 equals to event that the ball drawn is orange. Then obviously NE1 equals to number of orange balls equals to 10. Therefore PE1 equals to NE1 by NS equals to 10 by 30 equals to 1 by 4. And number 2, E2 equals to event that the ball drawn is not orange. Now not orange we can also write over here N E1 bar equals to 1 minus 1 by 4 equals to 3 by 4. In the comments concept part I have explained. So directly also we can write, or we can also write it as NE2 equals to 20, those which are not orange. Therefore PE2, sorry, this is not 1 by 4, this is 1 by 3, very sorry, 1 by 3. So 1 minus 1 by 3 will be 2 by 3, very sorry children. So NE2 is 20, therefore PE2 is NE2 by NS, NE2 by NS equals to 20 by 30 equals to 2 by 3. So both the answers are matching. So either you can, whenever not comes of the same category, that orange, not orange, so if you have got of that category, 1 minus that much will give the answer for the not of that category. So let us move to fifth type of the question, which comes fifth type, we can say it is figure based question. Figure based questions. Now figure based questions, it is given in NCERT also. So one question I am taking from NCERT only. So children, I have written this question, type 5, that is figure based question. One question, a missing helicopter is reported to have crashed somewhere in the rectangular region as shown in the figure. What is the probability that it crashed inside the lake? So this is a rectangular region whose length is given as 9 and breadth is given 9 kilometer and breadth is given as 4.5 kilometer. A lake is there. Now this length is given as 6 kilometer and hole is 9 kilometer. So lake's length can be taken as 3 kilometer. Similarly, the breadth of the rectangular region is given as 4.5 and this much distance is given as 2 kilometer. So lake's breadth can be taken as 2.5 kilometer. Okay. Question is, what is the probability that it crashed inside the lake? So obviously the answer will be, for lake it is asked, so area of the lake divided by the area of the rectangular region. So let us start over here. What is the So let E equals to event that the plane crashed inside the lake. Then, and S we can say as area, or don't write S actually the area of the whole lake we will be taking as NS. Then PE equals to area of lake divided by area of rectangular region. Now area of lake will be 3 into 2.5 and area of rectangular region will be 9 into 4.5. So this will be 3 2s are 6, 6 plus 1.5 is 7.5, and over here 36 plus 4.5, 36 plus 4.5, yes, so 40.5. So this ratio, how much, whatever it is coming, that will be the answer. So 75 by 405. Now let us do the cancellation. Equals to 5 by 27. So answer is 5 by 27. Now type 6, if we talk about, which is not any of the type of the type 1 to 5. So in that type 6, what you can do is calculate NS, and then probability of the event E is NE by NS. So that much only types are there till type 1 to type 6. This much type only will come in the examination or is in the syllabus of probability, obviously in any of the classes. Now we will be moving to the exercise questions of NCERT. Obviously all questions I will not be doing. The questions which I feel is to be discussed with you, I will be doing. The rest of the sums you will obviously be doing by yourself. So till then, goodbye children. Thank you.